A very warm welcome back to your latest industry recap. Boom Supersonic has made a pretty big announcement. There's some exciting news for Thai Airways and positive news on Boeing as well. Why not begin there? Where according to Avia Solutions Group, Boeing's ongoing delivery delays and production woes, which have plagued them for so long, are expected to ease within the next 5 years. The group, which is the largest ACMI and wet lease provider, had its chairman and CEO visit Boeing facilities to see how progress is being made to really turn around the business. Invites such as these are essential for customers to build a closer than ever relationship with the bruised manufacturer, and also allow Boeing to restore trust in their product after seeing consistent issues emerge. In fresh comments, it was highlighted that while Boeing has struggled across the last 5 years and beyond, many strides are being taken to mend relationships, supply chains, and an internal culture that has been the front of scrutiny in the last half-decade. Therefore, based on this company's prediction, Boeing should be able to meet demand available by 2030 and will have overcome pre-existing delays in shipping out aircraft. Comments come again from Avia Solutions, who have seen Boeing's progress firsthand. They're beginning to now really address the long-winded production issues that have arguably been a persistent problem now since 2018. Based on this prediction, Avia Solutions believes that 2025 and 2026 will likely be the last years that our industry will genuinely feel considerable impact from missed deliveries. By 2030, Boeing and Airbus, they will have returned to normal operation, permitting nothing goes wrong between now and then. I know that's still a long way away and a lot can happen, but sometimes we have to try hold on to any positivity that is present. Now, if this target were to be met, Boeing would still have experienced over a decade of production turmoil, substantially affecting airline customers and the plane maker's business. However, positive steps are reportedly being taken to turn around Boeing for the greater good, which is perfect. Interestingly, the ACMI and wet lease provider publicly stated in a release that it also believes those who are being overly critical of the ongoing situation at Airbus and Boeing are being opportunistic. Now, this isn't necessarily fresh developments, but it is interesting to see such a big player in our industry come out and state this publicly. It's something I've alluded to and many others. The consensus is gathered, though, really by airlines attempting to use their luck and obvious frustrations, maybe elevating that tenfold to try and secure better conditions for future aircraft purchases, pouncing on a dark period for the respective manufacturer in question. While no airline was publicly named, I'll give you the example of Emirates, who have, in the last few years, very openly threatened to cancel orders for programs such as the 777X from their president, Sir Tim Clark, and even very heavily criticised the plane maker. These rather negative comments can be understood. At the end of the day, the 777X has been delayed for so long, but eventually what did this lead to? The Dubai-based carrier announcing a landmark deal for the program again, a top-up order at the end of 2023, which saw more 777X's order, despite in the months prior a huge negative narrative towards the aircraft and the unfolding situation with it. Avia Solutions, however, says that they placed their aircraft orders with Boeing based on the confidence of the company, and their conviction remains unwavering. Over to the next story, and Thai Airways are going to continue with their fleet renewal efforts and fly the next generation A321neo as part of ongoing attempts to renew their business. The Thailand-based carrier has signed a leasing agreement with SMBC Aviation Capital that'll see 8 A321neos produced by Airbus delivered to the company. These 8 units are part of an order book with Airbus, which sees SMBC order many aircraft to cover airlines' requirements right around the world, providing a solution that doesn't have to see an airline head directly through the manufacturer. Moreover, this deal follows a previous agreement with AerCap, which included the A321neo model, 10 of which were selected and will be delivered first. That brings our total to 18. Thai Airways expects deliveries for the batch coming from SMBC to commence in 2026. It will conclude 1 year later in 2027. Of course, these delivery timeframes are permitting no delays to the program. We know Airbus has battled its fair share of supply chain struggles, but the hope would be that things have now slowly but surely been ironed out. Ultimately, as well, the aircraft are all part of the airline's ongoing fleet renewal efforts after many recent financial struggles. The transformative nature of the fleet has been highly emphasized. Like many airlines, the COVID-19 pandemic caused extensive damage. Now, many would say to you, that there was already writing on the wall. The pandemic really just accelerated the financial struggles, but it did see the network collapse. And now, after years of focusing on rebuilding the business, including hefty turnaround initiatives, the company is finally moving ahead with modernization efforts, and that includes an emphasis on the fleet. Thai Airways believes the purchase and lease of new planes from Airbus and Boeing will help aid growth, enhance simplification, and allow for the retirement of some of your more aging fleet types. Over to the final story, and that sits with Boom Supersonic, who have made a significant announcement as preparations to build its full-scale Overture commence. The announcement involves something called Boomless Cruise for the company's eventual supersonic airliner, which will enable supersonic travel over land without an audible sonic boom. A historic first supersonic flight with the company's smaller XB-1 demonstrator occurred on the 28th of January this year, after many years of delays, challenges, and rigorous testing. The demonstrator broke the sound barrier 3 times without generating sonic boom that reached the ground. Boom says this showed the possibility of quiet supersonic travel, which would counter some pushback for adopting on its upcoming full-scale aircraft known as Overture. Thanks to the well-established physics known as Mach cutoff, Boomless Cruise is based on this idea when a sonic boom refracts in the atmosphere and doesn't reach the ground, with the company saying this effect is achieved by breaking the sound barrier at a high enough altitude, and factors such as speed, atmospheric conditions can also contribute to it. Data from the supersonic test flights show that supersonic flight without the distance of a sonic boom is possible, and the company has continued to reaffirm this, but it doesn't mean there aren't people critical of Boom's groundbreaking announcement. Despite the announcement, there has very much been equal skepticism about the validity of the claims, and this is not the first time that Boom has been the center of attention for criticism. People have voiced their concerns about Boom's intent on forums and even over on LinkedIn, with James Cole, the director of future aviation at Mott MacDonald, an experienced professional in future aviation trends, sharing his thoughts. Notwithstanding what a cutoff altitude and refracted wave might be, how are the cute little arrows which seem to represent noise curving away ahead of the aircraft? If you are flying supersonic, this aircraft is flying faster than its sound. The sound can never get ahead of the aircraft. On your screen now is the image that he is referencing that Boom has published. Now, I'll be honest with you, I scraped by high school. I'm not exactly what you'd call book smart, failing many classes. I don't understand this, so I'll defer it to the experts. Others did agree with James Cole's take, also highlighting other problems with Boom's claims, but there was the public agreement that there wasn't much surprise, as some said that this really came from years of dishonesty regarding the product. Equally, because of regulations, there are those concerned about really getting laws overturned. However, the founder and CEO of Boom has continued to defend the product. He firmly believes that investments are already being made in the right direction. We're always going to see criticism exist for new endeavors such as Boom Supersonics, however, with skepticism remaining at an all-time high, ranging from finances to false claims, funding concerns, and more. Some of this really does have backing behind it. Thanks for watching today's update on the aviation industry. Take care, do be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow for your next industry recap.
And we'll fly.